What's up, Yesterland fans? I'm Neal, and on another episode of The Toys That Made Sense, we're going over Mattel Creations' Sunman action figure line, Space Sumo. Remember this guy? Just came out here a few weeks ago. He was released as a Mattel Creations exclusive, and there really wasn't that much buzz about him because we already knew we got him in the 3-pack, which I haven't done a review on that, and I plan to do one at some point. But for purposes of this video, I wanted to singly go over him and his card work and a little bit of his backstory and really get down to the nitty-gritty on why is this guy still available for purchase and he hasn't sold out like the other ones. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage and snack, and let's see, is Space Sumo just lost in space? All right, guys, here we go. We got Space Sumo in studio, and it's nothing different than all the other releases of the Mattel Creations boxes. We just got a picture of Space Sumo there on the front, coming out, whipping out his samurai sword. We get Ruler of the Sun, Sunman, Masters of the Universe down in the left-hand corner. Mattel down in the right. Flipping it to the side, we absolutely have nothing. Flipping it to the back, we have Space Sumo, obviously, with his hood off. We get a picture of what his head looks like. He's got a flat top, and he's got his samurai sword over his shoulder. Ruler of the Sun, Sunman, and he's kind of standing on a rock or something like that. Mattel Creations and their little insignia. And that's it. On the other side, nothing. Moving on top, Sunman, Ruler of the Sun. We got some tape. I've already cut mine to get it ready for you all. And then we get all the legal mumble jumble and the barcode. And that's it, guys. That's Spaceman in the typical box that they come in with the Mattel Creations exclusives when they ship these guys. So, let's get into it. As I said, is Sumo, or Space Sumo, from the Sunman toy line, is he really that popular of a figure? Is his backstory what we really care to desire? Or is he just lost in space? So, let's do it now. So, I'm not going to stop as I normally do and then cut away and come back. We'll just go ahead and open them up. Now, one thing I have noticed here, Mattel did this. This is the first time I've seen this on a figure. I didn't even get this on the Cobra Con figure, or correction, the Camel Con figure when he came. They're now starting to put these little cardboard inserts in to help keep that pressure on that card, which is a nice little touch. So something so simple is actually help fixing a big major problem where cards are getting bent or damaged or boxes are getting damaged in the shipper. So nice little touch there, Mattel. Flipping into it, we can see there he is down there in the bottom. So let's go ahead and get him out now. Pulling him out, put that box there in the back. Let's move him back here. I'm going to adjust the camera just so you can get a little bit more of his card. Let's bring him in. There we go, new for 22. He was a release, obviously, last month. Masters of the Universe, Space Sumo, Telekinetic Ninja, Modern Retro Play. Nice sticker presentation. Good, you know, they got it on there nice and even. We get into the card. Here's Space Sumo with his samurai. He's ready for battle. Down here, we got the Mattel insignia. Flipping it around back. Now, obviously, we get a card that's specifically geared and designed for Space Sumo and nobody else. We're not introducing any action figures coming down the line. I really don't see any of these figures being made. Again, excuse me, I don't know enough about this figure in particular. I do remember him as a kid, like I stated way back in my Sunman video. I remember seeing some of these figures, just didn't understand. I thought they were ripoffs of He-Man, but didn't really understand the backstory of the Sunman line. So here we go. We got a card that's designed and dedicated just to Space Sumo. Now, reading with a little bit of his backstory, he's obviously from another planet. There's these godly-like masters that control and run his planet or the planet that he's dedicated to. And he has to come back once a month for recharging. but he's sent out to be a protector of Sunman and his team, obviously now in the Masters of the Universe. And I'm assuming they'll integrate the storyline to where he protects and helps He-Man and defends Castle Grayskull and whatnot. But he gets his power through these godly-like individuals. And we got one up here that everyone's calling, looks like Muhammad Ali, the boxer. And then you got these other figurines. You got like a knight, and you got maybe a king here and another type of king. So maybe these are just futuristic souls that have got the power now, and they've summoned this individual, and he's been given the power to go assist Sunman and He-Man and all that. So anyways, quick little backstory on him. And I'm not sure that's 100% accurate from what I've read up on, but here it is. Sunman, not a bad design, not a bad graphic on here. It's pretty cool. And I get the theme with the Space Sumo crossover and futuristic interaction. In the 1980s, karate films, martial arts style movies were very, very popular for us, right? And for kids. And for some reason, the transfer from the 60s and 70s of the samurai movies and the action movies overseas really infiltrated into the American culture. And we saw a lot of crossovers. We saw a lot of crossovers of movie stars from the 60s and 70s that were older now with new, modern, younger martial arts individuals in these movies. And we got movies like American Ninja, and we got, you know, all the other different ones. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I know American Ninja was a big one. And we got a lot of culture crossover, and we came out with these characters. So it probably wasn't, it was a no-brainer for the marketing and the toy industry to cross over and say, hey, let's take that, put that into our toys, because we saw ninjas in our G.I. Joe line, we saw them in our Rambo line, we saw them in our Chuck Norris Karate Commando line, so, and the Karate Kid and things like that. So it was a no-brainer for the creator of Sunman and Masters of the Universe 40 years later, you know, to integrate him again and pay homage to those action figures way, way long ago, the movie stars and our early toys in the 80s. So here's the thing, though. I don't really remember Space Sumo. I remember Sunman and I remember Pighead and things like that. But maybe because there was just an overabundance of them. But I really, really don't remember a lot of the other characters, like Boltman, and I don't remember Diganato. And I've said that before in some of my videos. But I think it's cool that they're paying homage and that they're bringing this to the space, or the Sunman space, you know, Masters of the Universe, extended universe, if you will, and introducing it. So for those reasons, I think this is a really, really cool concept, and I think it's pretty cool to go back and pay homage to that, because as a kid, I remember ninjas were just so intriguing and cool, the mystic powers that they held. So to cross it over into toys, and here we are 40-some years later, I totally understand it and I get it. So, is Space Sumo really lost in space? My opinion, I think it is, because I think it's falling on the deaf ears of the 40-plus, 45-plus-year-old collectors. We know it. We understand what it meant. But for today's purposes and kids, I think it's a miss. But it is what it is. And they released him, and he's forever part of the Sunman collection, and now he's part of the Masters of the Universe collection. So tell me, what do you think? Put it down in the comments. I'm interested in hearing what everybody else thinks. Was he a good character to make? Should he have been put in that 3-pack? I'll throw it up here on the screen right now. And should he have been given his own Mattel Creations release? Me personally, I would have rather just had him on the card and not in a 3-pack. I would have rather not had the 3-pack and had all those individual Pighead, Sunman, and Space Sumo on their own cards. I don't think there was a need for it, but I get the marketing side of it. But let's get into him. Let's check him out. Enough of that discussion. So we get a black, hooded mask on there, his ninja mask. It's just a mask that pops down on top. We get a black chest piece here. There's a little bit of detail in there. You can see some square and some diamond plating. We get a black belt with the diamond, like a turquoise diamond on it. We get his red shorts or underwear, whatever you want to call it. Coming down, it's the typical He-Man body. Nothing different there. We get two-tone boots. We get a turquoise tip and a orangish colored boot on the bottom to give him some pop. And same thing on his cuffs there. It's the same color with the diamond plate. And then in the back, we can see the Samurai Sumo sword. Now, I've heard guys saying, for some reason, this plastic on this sword in this package, not in his 3-pack, is very, very, warped and bent. So, as you all know, I'm a mint-on card collector when it comes to the old vintage 5.5 Masters of the Universe. So for me, he'll be staying in here, and he's in pretty good shape. So I'm happy with the card. Now, moving in the back, I know this is hard. We get Legend of Space Sumo. So my opinion is they're probably going to give you a synopsis on his backstory and maybe a little bit of his first mission on how he's introduced into the Masters of the Universe line and how he's here to help Sunman and He-Man. So in a nutshell, guys, that's it. That's Space Sumo. I think he's lost in space on this one because I don't think it's really hitting home with us 45-plus-year-old collectors. Again, to recap, I think we know what it means. And we get it that he was part of the collection, but I think at the end of the day, I think this was a miss on Mattel Creations. I think we should have been releasing characters that were strong characters for us in the 80s. And, but, it is what it is. And they probably did this to kind of start closing out the Sunman line. I believe, in my opinion, the Sunman line in the Masters of the Universe will come to an end here soon because all of the figures are going to be released. I don't think we'll see any other really variations. I know in the Revelations, they've got Sunman and Pighead in the works coming down the line. And maybe that's about it. Maybe just maybe another year of it. And I think we'll start to see him kind of phase out. It was probably a contract deal they made with the creators. So guys, if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. The links are down in the description. Remember to share this video amongst the toy community. And as always, I'll see you in Yesterland.